as education advisor, coming live as every week from my office here in Hamilton, New Zealand. We had a fantastic week of weather, and from the last time that I came live last week to now, what are the most important things that happened in the life of AJV, which is our company, which helps people to come to New Zealand? Is that we conducted a fantastic workshop in Auckland on Sunday. So myself and my colleagues, Mary, who is our senior manager, and another colleague called Gisela Combry, we were the three people who presented this workshop. And so Gisela is also a licensed immigration advisor like myself. Mary is studying to become a licensed immigration advisor. And of course, I am a licensed immigration advisor by virtue of that lovely license I show week after week to all of you wonderful people who come and join me on my live broadcast and want to know about moving to New Zealand, either directly or through the path of education. The people to talk to is us at AJV Services New Zealand. Well, the gist of the workshop we did in Auckland was interesting. The title of the workshop was called Jobs and PR, free workshop. We conducted it free of cost to international students, and we had a good mix of people. I put up some pictures on Facebook, so if some of you guys want to go and check either my Facebook feed or the official Facebook page of AJV Services, it's called AJV Global. So just go to Facebook and search for AJV Global. In fact, this live broadcast is coming on the AJV Global page on Facebook. It's also going live on YouTube, where we also have a lot of people. I'll quickly check. Yep, YouTube is working. So is Facebook. So I'm coming live right now on both Facebook and YouTube. So when we met the students this Sunday, the last Sunday in Auckland, we had a very good discussion, and there was a really good bunch of students. We had a student from not a student, but a guy on a working holiday visa from France. We had another guy from Italy. We had a guy from Bangladesh. We had quite a few people from India. We had some from Nepal. So we had a really, really good mix of people in that group who came and asked us a lot of questions about finding jobs and getting that PR, as most of you like to call it, the permanent residency. So we had very good questions. And my take on the whole thing was that the government of New Zealand has opened up the gates very, very nicely and in a very positive manner for international students to come into New Zealand and study. And I think most of them will end up getting a 3-year post-study work visa, which is a fantastic opportunity for you not only to study in this beautiful country, but also pick up some work experience and hopefully create a future here as residents and citizens. But the squeeze is going to come because there will be a lot of international students who will be on post-study work visas, but they may not be the same number of skilled migrant category resident places. So the mismatch might be there. The challenge might be a little bit for all of us there. Nevertheless, 3 years is a great time for you to learn, work, live, earn your money back, and hopefully get your residency. But even otherwise, even if you have to go back home, I think you would have had 3+ however number of years you've studied in New Zealand, so many number of years of experience overall in this beautiful country. So I think the people in such a competitive environment where a lot of international students will be competing with each other to get to their jobs and to eventually to that PR, I think it really, really helps, guys, if you choose the right people to work with, and which is where someone like AJV Services comes into the picture. Because, see, we guys are based in New Zealand. We go and meet our students. We're constantly guiding them. We're constantly giving them guidance. So in such a competitive environment, I think it is very important that you guys choose the right advisor. And if you're choosing a company like AJV, we are there to hold your hand and walk with you at each and every step of that journey. And we will not only talk to you at your personal level, but at your professional level, at your legal level, at your immigration level, and keep guiding you. So in a hugely competitive environment that's going to develop in New Zealand very shortly for international students, if you're choosing right, if you're choosing the right advisors like us who are present in New Zealand and have the requisite licenses and advice background to be able to work with you, I think you guys will do well. All right, and girls as well. So yeah, choose properly. Choose New Zealand, great country. Our institutions are very good. Our education is good, but also make sure you're choosing the right advisor like AJV, because that could probably make all the difference between success and failure. All right, cool. Let's get on with today's question and answers. The rules are simple, guys. Like every week, you can ask your questions. If you're based in India and you want to reach out even while this live session is happening, you can call 1-800-103-6525, which is our toll free number. Or you can, if you're not in India and or you prefer not to call, you prefer to send an email, then the email address is info@ajvglobal.com. If you're already somebody present in New Zealand, either as an international student or as a worker or migrant, and you want some migration service and you want some migration advice, that's the number to call people. Or call or text Mary, that's our senior manager, who receives all our inquiries first and foremost for any migration related services like post study work visas, spouse work visas, resident visas, so on and so forth. That's the lady to get in touch with. Mary, she's our senior manager. You can call or text her on 022 605 2615. All right, make a note of that and let's get on with the questions and answers. And we have some people already asking some questions. Venkatesh says, "Hello, sir. How are you? Hope you're doing well." Perfect. Venkatesh, couldn't have been better. A little groggy from lack of sleep last night. I worked very, very late into the night working on a tricky case of one of my clients. So I'm fighting very hard to win that case. So that kept me awake. But otherwise, yeah, all good, all good. Venkatesh, yeah, good to go. Right, Venkatesan says you have a doubt to clarify. Would you mind clarifying? Yeah, go ahead and ask your doubt, and we'll be happy to clarify it. Vamsi Krishna says, I need information about jobs. Vamsi, you need to um, be a bit more clear what jobs, where, how, and all that. Then I'll be able to answer. Nicola Mahapatra asks, which city is better to stay, Tauranga or Rotorua? Good question. Nicola, I think I keep saying all the time that it is not the city that should determine your course. It's the course that should determine your city. For instance, last week, Mary and I, my colleague, Senior Mary and I, we went to Rotorua. Actually, she went to Rotorua, and she visited this campus of an institution called Toi Ohomoi, and she came back raving about a couple of courses from that institution, saying, "Wow, what fantastic courses from that institution!" So sometimes that course is found only in that particular institution, so you will necessarily have to go to Rotorua. Likewise, there might be certain courses which are available only in Tauranga. So it's always the course that should determine which city you're going to, not the city determining which course you're going to. So that's my advice. Both of them are good cities, by the way. Nicola, in fact, I think last week I uploaded a video on my YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and search for Arun Jacob, and you'll be able to see my channel. And just last week I uploaded a video about Tauranga because I was there. So everywhere I go, I pick up my phone and quickly make a video so that you guys get a live visuals of a person living in New Zealand, talking about New Zealand and sharing information. There is also a video I made about Rotorua, while in Rotorua. So you can also watch those two and compare. But I think the most important thing is it's not the city that determines your course. It is the course that should determine your city. If you're confused, please check with the AJV team and we'll be more than happy to help you. And to connect with the AJV team, as simple as that. If you're in India, call that number. If you're not in India, send an email to that particular ID and we will pick it up. All right, Nicola? Cool. But hey, look, both are fantastic cities, by the way. So I probably would say both are equally good. So it's your choice, really, depending on which course you're looking for. All right. Ajit Francis, post study work for cookery level 5 outside Auckland. Good question. So uh, uh, if you're going to do a level 5, Ajit, and if it is for, you need to have studied for at least 60 weeks in New Zealand to be eligible for a post-study work visa. So that's what the latest rule says. I'm actually looking at it while I'm talking to you. So if you're looking at applying for a level 5 in cookery, and if it is a minimum of 60 weeks, because a level 5 is when you will be eligible for a post-study work visa. And of course, if you are looking at studying outside Auckland, so if you are going to study at level 4 to 6, which obviously 5 is included, and you were studying for at least 60 weeks, then you will get a 1 year post study work visa if you're studying in Auckland, and you'll get a 2 years post study work visa if you study outside Auckland. All right. So the trick, if you're going to do a level 5 course, is that it needs to be for a minimum of 60 weeks, or which roughly equates to 2 years. So that's the trick for you to be able to get a post-study work visa. All right, Ajit. So if you're still in doubt, speak to our team. Please connect with us. You probably have seen how chilled out and cool we are, and we like to engage with you guys in your style. And that's the reason I wear all these colorful Batman versus Superman T-shirts and sit and talk to you guys, because I don't want to be some fuddy-duddy guy sitting in a suit with a tie and saying, "Oh, New Zealand immigration." Nah, we are not people like that. We are people who are going to talk to you in your language, engage with you, and the same spirit is going to continue once you come here. You're all like our friends, and I promise you, I will challenge all you guys and girls at cricket and table tennis. So game on, guys and girls. Drishti Sadwani. Hi, my name is Drishti, and I just had a quick question. I have already studied a level 8 course from AUT. She did a PG DIP in applied finance, and I've already got a 1 year post study work visa. I'm curious to know, if I do another level 9 course, will I be eligible to get a 3 year post study work visa? Drishti, good question, actually. I mean, yes, I mean, technically, yes, if you because you've already done a level 8 course, and if you then go to a level 9 course, yeah, technically you would be eligible. But I would strongly recommend check with us, speak to us once, because it's a very important decision. It's a very expensive decision. Please text or call Mary on that number, and share some more information, because maybe you don't have to do a level 9 course, because if you've already done level 8 and you're on a current post study work visa, maybe you will be eligible for a further 2 years of post study work visa, because after November 26th, those who are currently on a post study work visa open can go on to possibly get 2 more years of post study. So maybe there is no need for you even to um, get into a master's. But if you're desirous of getting into a master's because you like studying, absolutely possible. The law says that if you've done a level 8 and then you go to a level 9, definitely you'll be eligible for a 3 years post study work visa. But I strongly recommend that you get in touch with us. Please speak to Mary, because it's going to be a very important decision for you, Drishti, not just money wise, but time wise, effort wise, and a lot of other things would come into the picture. So please get in touch with us. We would love to check what's your background and how we can be more helpful. All right, cool. Venkatesan Raja, is there any free scholarship to study in New Zealand? Venkatesan, I think sometime back we posted about scholarships on our Facebook page, as well as on our Facebook group. We guys have a group called NZ Options. So if you go to Facebook and search for NZ Options, you will find our group, and our page is called AJV Global. I do remember pasting certain information about scholarships in New Zealand. To the best of my knowledge, there are no 100% scholarships provided to people coming in at the 8 or 9 level. There are some scholarships which will pay 20, 30, 40% perhaps. But so if you're really looking at level 10, which is a PhD, sometimes there is a possibility that you might end up getting the full tuition fee as a research grant. And sometimes some students are so good with their research proposals that the universities even provide them with their living expenses as well. So at the PhD level, I think the chances of funding are much higher. But yes, there are certain scholarships, and we would love to discuss those scholarships with you. So please get in touch with our team, Venkatesan. I think you're from India, because your name sounds like that. So you can get in touch with us on that number if you're in India. If you're not in India and you still want to get in touch with us, send us your CV to that email ID, info@ajvglobal.com, and we will definitely get in touch with you and share details about the scholarship. All right, cool. Okay, Andalib Nayab, sir, what is student visa rate of New Zealand for Afghanistan? Good question, Andalib, because I don't think it's very high. I can't pull out the statistics right now because if I try to open another tab, sometimes my computer crashes, so I don't want to do it right now in the middle of my session. Next time, I'll keep that document open. But you know what? Send us an email to info@hjvglobal.com and we will give you the details of the percentage of success from Afghanistan. Unfortunately, I don't think it was very high. It is, I think, around I think it's below 30% success rate for Afghanistan, but I'm only guessing. I don't really recall. So send us an email on the leap, and we will definitely look into it. And at the same time, send us some more information. Send us your CV and any other information that you want that you have, because obviously you're asking about this because you're keen to consider coming to New Zealand, and as a Afghani, you're wondering whether you'll get a visa or not. We would love to examine your possibilities. As I tell you in my live sessions, our admissions and visa team is filled with ex-immigration officers of New Zealand. So our team knows exactly what needs to be done to assess a particular client. And we are very brutally honest. We tell you, yes, you're eligible or you're not eligible. We are not people who will beat around the bush and make you think that you will be, eligible when we really know that you will not be eligible. So with AGV, you will get that point blank honesty, and we will tell you and say, hey, look, yeah, I think you should fight this case for a student visa, or hey, look, I don't think it's a good idea for you to waste your time, money, and effort, trying to apply for New Zealand. So please send us an email, Anjali. All right, yeah. Right. The Taurian says, "Hi, sir. Can you please just an app or a website from where I can learn a few basics about Maori language and culture?" Kapai, well done. Kapai in Maori is well done. Allow people who want to come to New Zealand and understand and experience and learn and probably get involved with the Maori aspect of New Zealand. I'm very fortunate to have gone to the Wananga or Te Wananga or Aotearoa, which is the institution that I attended. You guys see that certificate there? Oh, there I go. That's proudly my certificate from Te Wananga o Aotearoa, where I went and did a level 2 in Te Reo Maori, and then I did a level 3 as well in Tikanga Maori. And it's a beautiful culture, it's a beautiful language, and they're a very important aspect of New Zealand society, politics, culture, history, and everything else. So, migrants and students who come to New Zealand and but put in an effort to learn and understand a little bit of Maori, I think would be so much better place to succeed than a lot of people who go through their entire life ignoring that beautiful culture and everything else. So well done, Torian. Yes, I think there is one called maorilanguage.net, which is a website. That's what comes to my mind often. But I also strongly recommend that if it's possible, you pick up this particular book. That was a book that so it's the Maori English Maori Dictionary by John C. Moorfield, and it's called Te Aka. So this was a dictionary that I got when I went to do my level 2 Te Reo Maori course at the Wananga. So that's what I would recommend. But good on you, Torian, for wanting to learn some Maori. Yeah, fantastic. That's the way to go when you're coming to Aotearoa, which is, by the way, the Maori name for New Zealand, Aotearoa, which loosely translates to land of the long white cloud. All right, cool, guys. Abhijit saying student visa interview is difficult or not? Good question, Abhijit. Uh, it's only as difficult as you make it, or as easy as you don't want to make it. But I think by and large, I think most of us would get a little tensed when we're getting a phone call from people who are visa officers sitting in a office somewhere with the ability to change your entire life's trajectory and your path. So I completely understand, and I think a lot of people freeze up and kind of get psyched out a little bit when you get a call from a visa officer. So it can be stressful. So I don't want to joke about it, but it helps if you are well prepared. Abhijit, because for anything, but today I sit and talk comfortably to, I don't know, maybe there are about 200 or 300 people watching this live broadcast. And the first time I did it, it was not as easy, it was not as natural as I am able to do it today. But today is my 32nd live broadcast, so practice makes it perfect. And so even for your interview, a little bit of practice would be good. Don't practice lies, please practice only the truth. And if you are working with a company like HJV, we will work with you, and help you to stitch your story together and tell what exactly is the way to present yourself in case you get an interview call for the excuse me the for the student visa. But yeah, I mean, I think it depends on how well prepared you are, whether it's going to be difficult or easy. And we at HJV Services, we work with our students and we ensure that they're confident and they have good knowledge and they have the right attitude when they're about to face an interview. So if you're looking for good, proper guidance, Abhijit, on how to face an interview, yeah, I think you need to talk to us. You need to give us a call or send us your CV on info@ajvglobal.com. And I think it'll be awesome for us to work with people like you. All right, cool. Apurva Kumar. Hi, sir. I'm interested in studying and settling in New Zealand. However, one of my friends was saying that New Zealand has an extremely high cost of living, lack of jobs which have high pay, and crime is increasing, especially in cities like Auckland. Please help me out. Apurva, I think your friend is partially correct. I will not say he is totally correct. So let me give you the positives. Very, very good country, very friendly, very safe, very high in a lot of rankings. If you look at the prosperity index of the world, I think we are number two after Norway. We are very high in ease of doing business. We are one of the most peaceful countries. You do not see even policemen carrying guns in New Zealand. So that's an indication of the kind of safety that's available in New Zealand. Talking about the high cost of living, I've heard that it is higher in terms of cost of living as compared to some of the other countries. But that's because we are so far away from the rest of the world. We are kind of in the South Pacific. And so a lot of our goods and services, like the T-shirt I'm wearing now, or that, or whatever, has to be imported into New Zealand. So because of that, I think the cost of transportation and logistics is high. Because of which, I mean, if this T-shirt costs, let's say $2, $5 in America, it might cost $10 in New Zealand or $8 in New Zealand. So that's the way it is. And we're also quite limited as a market. We are only about 4.5 million people in the country, so it's not a very large number of goods being sold, because of which obviously the people selling stuff also need to make money. So the cost of living, I think, is definitely higher. So your friend is right about that. Lack of jobs, I think, is wrong. I think he was totally wrong about that. We have one of the lowest unemployment rates in the OECD nations. So I don't think that is correct. We do have plenty of jobs here for our population size. Okay. And high pay is not very popular. I mean, is not high pay. I don't know what you mean by high pay, but if you can make $60,000 or $50,000 in New Zealand, and if you're married, and if you're making $50,000 and your spouse is also making $50,000, that can be a very, very comfortable life for a couple, even with one or two children. So, but high pay does happen at about, once you hit the experience and the knowledge level. I mean, about 2 months back, one of our clients who came in recently into New Zealand got a job of $200,000 as an IT programmer. So it also depends which field you are in and how much experience was there. So high pay is possible, but even at a medium kind of a pay, you can lead a comfortable life in New Zealand. But in when you take away all of the negatives, if you look at the positives, if you do a balance sheet of New Zealand of high cost of living versus something else and something else, and you start putting the positives on this other side of on the debit and credit side, as they say. So if there are assets and liabilities, if the liabilities are, I do agree that our job market is small and cost of living could be a little higher, so on and so forth. Crime, I think, is also unfortunately increasing a little bit. But again, these are not very violent crime. There is mostly like we have this corner shops called dairies. So a little bit of the dairy are being attacked because cigarettes have become very expensive in New Zealand. So so some of these petty little kids, who are drunk, they just go in and try and steal some. So a lot of that is happening, but you don't hear of massive murders or shootings or those kinds of things in New Zealand. So small crime, I think, is kind of been going up a little bit. But also bear in mind, there's a lot of influx of migrants into New Zealand. I'm not saying migrants bring in crime. I'm just saying there are a lot of other new elements that are creeping into New Zealand, and that might be disturbing some of the local population who were living like a secluded life now suddenly feel a bit threatened. So they may be hitting out, and there could be a lot of reasons for it. But overall, if you compare the assets versus the liabilities, I think the assets far outweigh the liabilities when you consider New Zealand. So I think you must consider New Zealand very seriously. In fact, New Zealand is quite a rare boat hole. A lot of billionaires, the guys with the really, really serious money, are creating a backup in New Zealand. But they're saying in the event of some crazy global crisis, New Zealand is going to be the safest country on earth. So that's, if you just go to Google and check it out, you'll see a lot of that is happening. So, I mean, every country has got pros and cons, but overall, if you draw out the balance sheet for New Zealand, I think the assets far outweigh the liabilities. It's your call. And if you choose a good advisor like AJV Services, we are a big team of people here in New Zealand. Myself, Mary, our senior manager, Gisela Combrink, our next our other licensed immigration advisor. We have Virginia, who is an ex-immigration officer and now our customer service manager till she also goes and gets her own license. We also have an internee who is also a licensed advisor. So and then there's Prakash, who was a student who's now picked up a job and working with us. So we are a very strong set of people supporting it. So with support like that, probably some of those liabilities can also be overcome. Hopefully, I've answered that. I'm sure you guys can see that I get very excited and worked up when I have to defend New Zealand. But hey, look, let's do this. How can you, Ogweri Obioma, how can you help me to get tourist visa to New Zealand? Ogweri, we do provide commercial services in terms of helping people to get tourist visas and all kinds. I mean, hey, look, that's our business, man. Our business is to help people to get visas to New Zealand. As long as you're a legitimate applicant, we would love to work with you because, as I keep saying, we are not people who will take money and help every Tom, Dick, and Harry to come to New Zealand. No, definitely not. We consider ourselves as co-stakeholders along with the Immigration Department of New Zealand to uphold the integrity of our immigration process. If you're a genuine traveler and you want to come to New Zealand, yes, we would love to work with you. Get in touch with, you can, so Mary is available on WhatsApp on that number, 0226052615. You'll need to put a +64 if you're doing it from outside New Zealand, or you can just send your CV to info@ajvglobal.com. We will take a look, connect with you, assess if you're a legitimate traveler. If yes, we will help you with your visitor visa process, and we can also share with you how much it's going to cost you. All right, cool. Rahel Bayani. Hello, sir. Working with HAV. Hey, guys, that is water, by the way, in case some of you are thinking whether it's gin or something else. It's just water. Hopefully, I'm still, sounding clear and coherent. Hello, sir. Working with HAV. Just want to ask what are the job opportunities for hotel management and part-time jobs available once we land there? Good question, Rahil. And first and foremost, thank you so much for working with us. I appreciate that, Rahil. Young people like you have a choice to choose any company that will help you with your admission and visa process. So, good students go to companies which can do your admission and visa. Really smart students like you will choose AJV because you'll get your admission, visa, and onshore support, which I think 99% of the others are not offering. I mean, they'll get you your admission visa, shake your hand, say thank you very much, bye bye, see you later, alligator, and that's pretty much done and dusted. But we guys don't do that. We believe our relationship starts even more strongly after you land here in New Zealand. So thank you so much for choosing to work with us. And I hope the others listening in will also choose to work with us. So, but what are the job opportunities for hotel management? Something that I answer all the time. We are a very tourism-oriented country. Millions and millions and millions of tourists coming into New Zealand every year. which means we need accommodation. If there is accommodation and a hotel industry, we need professionals to work in it. So obviously, you're choosing a good subject in a country that is heavily reliant on tourism. So I think you will definitely do well in this. Part-time jobs were available once you land here also would be there. I don't know which city you're going to, but I'm sure. And the way we guys work is we actually connect our ex-students and older students with the new ones who have come so that that little community is formed. So there's something really interesting happened. One of my clients from 2006, he called me and we had a good long chat. So 12 years later, we are still in touch. And his name is Ramesh, very inspirational man who came to New Zealand as the spouse of an international student, went on to become a very successful businessman and has set up about 5 or 6 different companies in New Zealand. And we have had a great relationship. We are good friends now. And we were having a chat, and he said, "Hey Arun, I'm setting up these extra other few outlets. So he's setting up a new pizza shop." So and my first question was, "Hey Ramesh, can you help my AJV students to get jobs in your all your companies?" He said, "Absolutely. Why will I not? Why will I not do it? I mean, you guys are part of our family. So any new AJV students coming will become part of my family." So that's how we work. And not only did Ramesh commit and say that he will hire some of our students part time and full time in his companies, he also gave me the name and number of another of his friends who's also got 4 or 5 businesses, and said speak to him as well. He's also looking for some people. So I immediately called up our customer service manager Virginia, and said, "Hey Virginia, can you get in touch with Ramesh and the other gentleman, and said get in touch with them and let them know that we have a lot of really good talented young people who are willing to work for them, so that whether full time or part time." So that's the way we guys are working, Rahul. So we will definitely connect. You will get the AJV advantage once you come here, and we also provide you with copies of CV templates about how to apply in New Zealand, cover letter templates, and then we keep coming and meeting you guys and giving you that confidence and boost and telling you, "Don't worry, you did the right thing by not only choosing New Zealand but also choosing AJV." All right, cool. See you here soon, Rahul. I hope you play cricket because I'm also always looking for cricket players like you. So yeah, please tell me that you play cricket as well. All right. Chetan Surya. Hi, Arun. Chetan from India. I'm planning to do my postgraduate diploma in business information systems from University of Canterbury, and I have also shortlisted Wintech for applied information technology. Okay, good question, Chetan. Although it doesn't look like a question, it looks more like uh, a statement that you've done it. You have not mentioned whether you are applying to these institutions through AJV. I really hope you're doing, Chetan, because yes, sometimes it's easy for you guys to do a direct application to the university or to the institution or to work with other agencies. But once you land here, you will require a lot of support, and that's what you get when you work with AJV. We do not charge any fee from our students if you don't have any prior visa rejection, or if you are not from a low visa success rate country. So 85, 90% of our students get free services. So but in return, what you will do is you will get also the advantage of having somebody like us to support you. We have a great relationship with both the University of Canterbury as well as with Wintech, and excellent course choice. You're looking at business information systems, and or applied information technology from Wintech. Both of them are extremely good institutions. One is a university, one is an institute of technology. But hey, look, if you're able to pick and choose between either one of them, I think very good. But although I have a selfish reason to say come to Hamilton because this is where I live, which is where Wintec is. But the University of Canterbury is also a very good university. I strongly suggest it. Only last piece of advice, Chetan, is if you're doing it directly or you're working with some other company, request you to work with us because you will get a lot of advantages, guys. And the way to do that, Chetan, is that I presume you're also from India. So yeah, just give us a call on 1-800-103-6525 or info@ajvglobal.com. And yeah, and I think I'm missing out on one of my normal things that I do when I'm on these sessions is I actually have my wonderful team who keep pinging me on my on my Skype. And today I came in a little late, and and they keep telling me whether uh, the people asking questions are actually working with us or not. And Chetan, I just got confirmation from my colleague that you're actually working with Vishal, one of my colleagues who is based in India, and that Vishal is waiting for your documents to get started. So, excellent course choice, very good institution choices, and it looks like you're already in touch with our AJV team in India. So, very good, and we promise to stand by you and ensure everything goes smoothly. And after you come here to New Zealand, we will ensure that you continue to progress with a big smile on your face. Unlike a lot of international students who are like sitting and wondering, oh, what do I do now? Our HIV students are, constantly being guided and counseled. So good choice, Chetan. Yeah, we will be happy to talk to you and get you into New Zealand. And just going back a little bit, somebody had asked me about the approval rate for Afghanistan. It is 25% visa success rate, and right. And I'm also trying to say any other messages, but that my awesome team has given us. Hey guys, talking about awesome team, we've had yet another ex-immigration officer join us, and this lady was actually working in the student visa team of Immigration New Zealand, and then she quit and she went away for I think a year and a half, and then when she wanted to get back into the workforce, she decided she's going to approach us and say, "Hey, Arun and team, I like the work you guys are doing. Is there a place for me?" And we said, yeah, absolutely. Why not? We would love to work with equally committed professionals like us. And the one thing we tell all these ex-immigration officers or other staff members who come and join us in our company is that you never ever will have to uh, compromise on your integrity, because in this industry it is very easy to mislead students. It is very easy to make more money by sending you to institution B instead of institution A, while institution A may be the most appropriate. So a lot of that nonsense happens in this industry, but we at AJB, we pride ourselves on the fact that we will always uphold our integrity, and we will always keep the interests of New Zealand first, our students next, our employees third, and then the profits of the company. So those are the four pillars on which we are choosing to build this company. All right. So yeah, good choice, guys. Not only our students, but my awesome team as well, who's hopefully listening in on this broadcast. Good choice as well, my gang. You did the right thing, because you're going to be in a fun-loving company that will do right by everybody and ensure that we will go to bed peacefully in the night. All right? Cool. Yeah, somebody is smiling just now. One of my team members put up a big smiley. There. Cool. Next. What are we looking at next? Surigada TJ. Sir, I want to work in New Zealand. Can I contact you? Contact me. Sure. Suri, I've been waiting all my life to hear from you, Suri. Hey, look, jokes apart, not easy to find jobs directly in New Zealand when you're not present in the country, which is what I keep saying constantly. If you go to my YouTube channel, there is a video which actually says, can I find a job and uh, get a work visa to New Zealand, or can I get internship in New Zealand? It's not easy because you've got to be present in the country. Rarely ever do New Zealand employers encourage anybody who's not in the country to apply. So not a good idea. Suri, get in touch with our team. We will show you other pathways, but trying to find a job directly is possibly very, very difficult unless and until you're a very highly competent and qualified IT guy or a mechanical engineer or something. I mean, you've got to be like up there to be able to stake a claim in New Zealand. And then if you're really like up there, 10, 12, 30, 15 years of experience at a senior level, and you kind of proven yourself and in whichever sector, I mean, then you might have a chance. But if you're a guy who's 2, 3 years of experience and trying to get into New Zealand, I don't think anybody would really be interested to make an offer to you. So Sometimes there are other pathways like being able to come and study. You'll get a 3 years post-study work visa if you're choosing the right level of course. So sometimes you've got to look at options like that, and which is why have a chat with our team. I know that that's the numbers and that's the email address on which you can contact our team. And don't worry about our contacting team, everybody, because we are not, monsters who will blood-sucking creatures who will come and then get behind you and say, "All right, now that you've spoken to us, you have to go to New Zealand." We are not people like that. We get enough inquiries. Our job is to give you the right information, and then, hey, look, if you guys want to make the decision and work with us, great. If you don't want to make the decision and want to come to New Zealand, work with somebody else, come to New Zealand and cry later, that's your decision as well. We'll leave it all open to you. We are very happy with our clients and we love having them as part of our extended family, and we will do the best for them. All right. So, Suri Gowda, as much as you and I should be contacting each other, I don't think it's a good idea. If you're planning to work in New Zealand, you need to look at other possible aspects. All right. So, Grishma Stanley, which city is better to get part-time jobs? Is there any difference studying inside Auckland and outside Auckland? Actually, I mean, this a question can be answered in a very simple fashion, or I can get into a slightly more complex description of it. So I think I'll get into a slightly more complex description because I'm in a very talkative mood today. So I think in terms of getting part-time jobs, Grishma, I think you in fact in my seminar on Sunday in Auckland, I was telling them the collected the assembled people that earlier I also used to think that only the large cities have opportunities, but then I've traveled very extensively across New Zealand about 3 or 4 times. I've done tip to tip about 3 or 4 times, so I practically know every road in New Zealand. I don't want to sound immodest, but I actually have traveled very, very crazily across New Zealand. And I think very few people would have traveled New Zealand the way I have done. And I drive everywhere. I take my car and I drive. So I've changed my mind about the smaller towns. I think they have as many opportunities as the bigger towns. In fact, the government is now trying very, very hard to decongest some of the bigger cities and send more people into the smaller cities. So you definitely have an advantage in studying outside Auckland because not only will your cost of living be lower, but if you do find that opportunity after you finish your course, and I think the opportunities are there, you will be able to settle down faster because you also get 30 extra points if you get a job outside Auckland when you're about to apply for your residency. I think you get 30 extra points. So I think it's a very good idea to consider studying outside Auckland. And Auckland is also the cost of living is a little higher. So I would strongly encourage. And hey, look, I chose to live in Hamilton rather than Auckland because I'm only an hour and a half away to go to Auckland. So in fact, Mary and I we keep traveling to Auckland like practically twice or thrice a week, and we go do our work and we come back and we sit happily in this beautiful little city called Hamilton. So I'm a big, strong advocate of asking people to get out of Auckland and move into smaller towns in New Zealand. Not only is your cost of living lesser, you get more points towards migration. Plus, you actually get to see the essence of New Zealand because Auckland is like any other large city anywhere in the world. You could be in Chicago or you could be in, London or wherever. So that's how cosmopolitan Auckland is. But in a smaller town, New Zealand, you actually get to feel that Kiwiness of what New Zealand is all about. So you want that essence of New Zealand? Yeah, choose small town New Zealand. And Rishma, my team also tells me that you're already in touch with contact with one of my colleagues called Valerine, and that you're waiting to send your documents. Please do it tonight. We are waiting to welcome you into New Zealand. Don't worry, whichever city you're in, we'll come and see you there. Promise. Right. Henel Visaria. Hi, Arun. Can you give any information on set up business in New Zealand? Henel, it will take me the whole night to talk about this topic. But yeah, jokes apart, we have opportunities for business people to come and set up businesses in New Zealand. We have one category of visa called the entrepreneur work visa, entrepreneur visa, so which can eventually lead to residency. So yeah, absolutely, we would love to invite business people to come and explore possibilities of setting up industries in New Zealand. We have some industries which are growing really well. We have other identified future growth areas like information technology, biotechnology, and the creative industries, which includes a lot of things, film, television, journalism. A lot of things are under that creative head. So yeah, we would absolutely love to handle. And I've done a video specifically about how to migrate to New Zealand for business. Go to my YouTube channel. There is a playlist called All the Different Migration Pathways to New Zealand, and you will see that there is one of my videos which says how to migrate to New Zealand for business. Have a look at that. It's a very complex process. I might as well tell you that right now. But we are happy to provide our consultation. And what we like, business people like you who want to come and invest large sums of money in New Zealand, is to first book a live, a one-to-one Skype session with me so that we can discuss your background and all that. It costs you a very small amount of money. I like to test business people who say they want to come to New Zealand and invest a large amount of money and set up a business, to see if they're willing to pay a very, very small fee to speak to me for an hour, or however long it takes, to see how committed you are to this thought. And if you are committed, we will then connect you to all the people who can make the business happen, like chartered accountants, lawyers, business consultants, immigration advisors, so on and so forth, plus some people in the government who are also there to help new businesses to take off. We can definitely do the whole lot, but have a look at that video. And if you're really serious about it, book a one-on-one consultation with me. Like I said, for a very, very small initial investment, you make that little small initial investment. Hopefully, it'll go on to become a massive industry in New Zealand in the future. All right, Hanel. Thank you. All right, who's next? Drishti, I have. Drishti says, oh, Drishti, I think I already answered, but she says, oh, okay, yeah, I remember Drishti's question. She's the one who said she wanted to do a level 9 and then come back to New Zealand for free. Absolutely, Drishti. Now that you've clarified and said that, yes, you are I assume that you were in New Zealand, but if you're already back in India, that's what you've got to do, Drishti. Yeah. Okay, call that number or send your CV to that email address, and we will pick it up and we will choose the right level 9 for you in the right city, in sync, in which synchronizes with your background and your future aspirations and everything else, and then we will take it. All right. Yeah. Okay, Drishti, I also have confirmation that you're already in touch with Catherine, my colleague, and with that we are also waiting on some more documents, and that you're also looking at your finances. Definitely worthwhile. In fact, recently I came across a very good master of management from one of the institutions, which is only priced at 20,000 New Zealand dollars, which I think is a bargain for a master's. And it's a master's by thesis, which means you will be able to work full time while you're studying, and after you complete it, you'll get a 3 years work visa. So I would strongly encourage, check with Catherine. This is a Master of Management from the Toi Ohomoi Institute of Technology. Ask Catherine to give you some details about that. Have a look at it. If you're struggling for finances a little bit, maybe this course will help, because I think it is extremely competitively priced, and I think it's awesome. All right, cool. Okay. Nicola, I think I've already answered Nicola. Team, just confirm if Nicola has had some follow-up questions, and I'm not sure if she has an AJB client because she has not specified. So if you can confirm it to me, then I can go ahead and give some more information to her. But in the meantime, I will keep skipping ahead. Ajit Mohan, sir, can I get a job without IELTS? Any unskilled jobs? I finished my BCom. No, Ajit, not possible. Okay, get in touch with us. We will show you a study plus settle pathway instead. All right. I'm coming for graduate diploma in IT at Welltech Wellington. It has any scope. Need honest reply. Balpreet Singh. Balpreet Singh, if you were working with AJB, you would not be asking questions like this. I don't know who you're talking to. I don't know who your agency is. It's still not too late. Change and come to us, and we will ensure that we will give you the right advice, support, and everything else. But answer your question, I think it's a good course. Welltech is a Wellington Institute of Technology, which is a very good institution, and a lot of respect for it. One of the international managers there is a very dear friend, very good close friend of mine, and we have a great rapport. So I think overall the college is good, the course is good, the city is good, and the scope is also good. My honest question to you now is: will you come here and struggle all by yourself, or do you want 4, 5 good, senior, strong, professional people to help you to succeed? That's my honest question to you, Balpreet. My answer to you is yes, your course is good, your college is good, your city is good, and your subject is good. My question is, how good is your consultant? If he, is not, he or she is not, you need to talk to us. All right, Balpreet? And you know what you have to do. You have to just do that. You do that, and we will take care of the rest of it. All right, cool. Next question, Chetan Surina. Hey guys, team, can you confirm about Nicola? Because Nicola had a follow up question, but I'm skipping to other people because I don't have confirmation from her or from you whether she's one of our clients. So, yeah, if you can tell me, then I'll go back and answer her question. Chetan, I think I have already spoken about. Yeah, so I think I've also answered Chetan's questions, and he wants to know what are the job prospects of. I think definitely very good, Chetan, because you're again excellent institutions you're choosing, good course you're choosing, good subject you're choosing. IT is in the long-term skills shortage list of New Zealand, and plus we are there to talk to you and help you on your way. I think it's a good choice. Don't worry about it. Puvendan Murigesan. Hi, sir. I checked my profession is LDSSL. Check that immigration website. I am bachelor degree in civil engineering with 10 years of experience. May I able to migrate to New Zealand? Puvendan, because you have 10 years of work experience and because you're a bachelor's in civil engineering, there is a possibility that you will get the required number of points to apply for something called the skilled migrant category job search visa. Because now, unless and until you have either employment in New Zealand or an offer of employment in New Zealand, or you have studied in New Zealand for 2 years and gotten yourself a master's or a PhD, you simply cannot get a direct skilled migrant category resident visa. But for people who are getting the required 160 points through age, qualification, work experience, so on and so forth, possibly they will give something called a skilled migrant category job search visa, where you can come into New Zealand and then find a job and then fulfill that condition and then get your resident visa. So, because you're a guy with 10 years of work experience and from one of our long term skill shortage areas, I would like you to send your CV, and if you're married, also your wife's CV to info@ajbglobal.com. And I would like to do an assessment, or my colleague Gisela, who's also an immigration advisor, we would like to do an assessment to see whether you'll qualify for the skilled migrant category job search visa. And if yes, we'll come back to you with costs and tell you how to go about doing it. Just bear in mind that on the skilled migrant category job search visa, we do not, the government does not allow the family to accompany till you fulfill that condition and get your resident visa. So, yeah, so that's really what we did. Okay, so send your CV, and if you're married, which I'm thinking you are, your spouse CV as well to info@ajbglobal.com, and we will take it forward from there. All right. Raj Mohan Bhatnagar. And he says, hi, I'm Soumya, but his name says Raj Mohan Bhatnagar. And he is not a student of AJB Global. Very confusing, Raj or Soumya. I don't know. If you're using, I think, I don't know if it's Soumya or Raj I'm speaking to right now, but I'll try and answer the question anyway. Uh, First and foremost, I'm a little upset why you're not an AJB student, okay? So you need to become an AJB Global student first. But anyway, jokes apart. I have done my graduation in English from Delhi University. I want information on PG courses in Auckland. I'm interested in media and international relations. How about the job prospects after completion of the course? I'm interested in getting a post-work visa and eventually to migrate to New Zealand. Please advise. Hey, Soumya, I think there are definitely good PG courses in your media international relations side of things. It's a good subject as well to choose. And you sound like somebody who's very, very competent in English because you've obviously done your grad in English from Delhi University, which is a very good university, by the way. And so I think you seem to have all the. Just bear in mind that public relations is not a very happening thing, not just in New Zealand, but globally. It is a bit of a niche sort of thing. But I'm not trying to discourage you, but the fact of the matter is that if you're coming for a postgraduate level course in New Zealand, you will get 3 years post study work visa. 3 years is long enough if you're really good, in your in your trade and in whatever your competencies are. I think 3 years is a very, very long enough time to find your spot in that industry called public relations or international relations or media relations and so on and so forth. So, excuse me, I think you will definitely do well. But again, like I said, I'm a bit confused whether you're Raj or Soumya because the but I'll address your Soumya because you've written I'm Soumya. I think it is worthwhile to come and explore, mainly because you'll get a 3 years work visa, and 3 years is a long enough time to create your network, create do your own public relations, and if you're coming to New Zealand through us, we'll connect you. In fact, one of our ex students is now a recruitment consultant, and that girl is so amazingly helpful to a lot of people that we connect. She says, "Arun, anybody from AJV, just ask them to come and see me, and I will give them my best advice how to go about." And she works for one of the largest recruitment companies here in New Zealand as well. So my honest thought on it is that Soumya is that PR and public relations and those kinds of could be a little tricky to find jobs, but then you have 3 long years to be able to do that. So if you're confident about yourself, if you know you have what it takes to succeed, not just in New Zealand but anywhere else on the global stage, I think you should come to New Zealand because we are kind of wanting to attract the best talent and hold them back here in New Zealand. So please think about it and have a chat. Have a chat with our team. No obligations. You can just talk to us about your aspirations. Our team will put a lot of options in front of you. If it works out, great. Doesn't work out, no problem. We will still be friends. All right, Samya. But please get in touch with our team because I think you have a great profile, and we would love to assess and see whether we can help you to come to New Zealand because you definitely sound like a very good professional to me. All right, so that's how you get in touch with us. Did you guys see how cleverly I keep shaving off some time by showing that poster? Keeps. I'm an artist 40 years. I'm a degree holder in management information systems from an American. Abdul, I think you've just heard me about 5 or 10 minutes back saying that direct skill migrant category is practically ruled out. But if you're willing to take a chance to see whether you can be assessed to see if you're going to get a skill migrant category job search visa, we are happy to do that. So send us your CV, and if your wife is also qualified and competent, so send us send her CV as well, so that we guys can then assess and let you know what you qualify. In case you do not qualify, we will also put the alternative options of probably considering the study plus settled pathway in certain instances because you have a fantastic background. Uh, Probably your wife may be able to take up a course and you could come on the spouse work visa, which means technically she and you could probably go on with 4 years of work with us. And again, 4 years is a long time for somebody with your competency to be able to, find the proper related job to you, and that will eventually lead to residency. So I would say, hey, look, get in touch with us, send us your CVs to info@ajvglobal.com, and we'll pick it up from there. Abdul. All right, cool. And I hope things are all right in Afghanistan now. I know you guys have had a lot of trouble, and I hope it's kind of settling down a little bit. And all the very best to you and your family. Gishi Cherian, sir, I'm finished my BCom, then which I chose my higher studies. Good question, Gishi. I mean, I was also a 21-year-old who finished BCom honors. That's my certificate. No, no, not that. I think it's hidden outside the frame. I did I remember when I was 21 and I finished my BCom honors and I had absolutely no clue what I was going to do next. I swear, I mean. So I completely understand why people can be confused. Gishi, after BCom, you have many options. Do you want to become a chartered accountant? Do you want to become a company secretary? Do you want to get into other business areas like sales and marketing? Do you want to become an HR professional? Do you want to become an admin professional? Do you want to become a finance professional? So you have a lot of options after BCom, Gishi, and sometimes you might, frankly, quite frankly, after I did my 3 years of BCom honors, I still struggled to remember which side was debit and which side was credit. So I was pretty hopeless with that subject, and I realized my real interest was in communication, TV, film, and that kind of stuff. So I mean, yeah. So sometimes it can. So maybe you have some other passion which has got no link to BCom at all. Maybe you need to pursue that. So have a chat with our team. Gishi, I love talking to young guys like you and recalling my own battles and trauma of not knowing what the heck to do after you finish BCom or BCom honors at 21. You're sitting there wondering, okay, what do I do now? And what do you do with that certificate that you hang on the wall is another question. But like I said, if you want to continue in your commerce stream, a lot of opportunities. But if you want to get out of commerce and get into something that's your real passion, like filmmaking or 3D animation or something else, equally crazy, just go for it. You're young enough to take um, some risks, and better to live a life and not look back upon it and say, oh, I should have done it at the right time. So just go on and do it. This is a very old and wise man speaking, by the way. Apurva Kumar, hi sir. Do any major IT companies have their campuses in New Zealand? Good question. I haven't seen a Microsoft campus. I haven't seen a Google campus. I haven't seen a lot of big campuses, to be honest. And I don't think major IT companies will have campuses in New Zealand, Apurva. Simple reason, because they set up large campuses in countries like India and Philippines and other developing nations. Why? Because the cost of labor is so cheap there. So to hire a graduate in New Zealand who's just completed, let's say, bachelor's of technology in computers, you'll have to pay that young man $60,000. For that same $60,000, you could probably hire six or seven young IT engineers in a place like India or Philippines. So that's how the whole outsourcing model works. So because of that fact, you will hardly see any of those large companies having their campuses in other developed nations, and they prefer to have them in developing nations. So that's the simple reason why there will not be large campuses here in New Zealand, Apurva. But they're doing a lot of business out of New Zealand. In fact, last week I got an email from Google, because my team and I, we are subscribed to Google and a few other applications providers. And I got an email saying, as the administrator, it said, "Hey, look, we're changing our billing from Google Singapore to Google New Zealand. So from now onwards, your invoice is going to say something else, da da da, so on and so forth." So they're all doing business in New Zealand, but they don't have large campuses for the reasons I've told you. So if you're a guy who's actually looking for post-study employment and hoping that having a large campus will help you find a job, don't worry. You can have a large campus of a big company, or you can have a small company like AGV that will help you. All right, cool. Okay. Last question, guys. My team is ringing the bell. See, like since 3 weeks, I've started actually doing that. My little antics while I'm doing my live session to keep it interesting for all of us. So earlier I used to kind of indicate and say, "Oh, now time to ring the bell." My team is ringing the bell. So I realized I actually have a bell in my bar, so I went and I keep it there, and now I ring the bell actually to say time up, time is up. So last question from somebody called Bhavia Velayudan. Hello Arun, my husband has an offer from AUT for MS in Analytics. I work as a program manager in IT industry. What's your suggestion on how I can get work at Auckland? Bhavya, you have not mentioned if your husband is working with AJV, because, like I said, we are quite selfish, not selfish, but logical. We've got to work with our students who are helping us to run our company and our business. So you have not mentioned that you're working with AJV, your husband's admission and visa process is happening through AJV or not. If it is happening through AJV, please connect with your advisor, your AJV advisor, and say, "Hey, look, I want more information on how we can succeed." And what we will do is we'll connect you to our onshore customer service manager, who is also, by the way, an senior ex-immigration officer. So we will connect you, Bhavya, to that customer service manager, whose main job is to assist our clients coming into New Zealand. But if you are not working with AJV, unfortunately, we may not be able to help because, like I said, we are here for our AJV students. So business will dictate that we look after our own first before we go and start helping other people. So please confirm, Bhavya, if your husband is coming through HIV. If he is, send an email to us and say, hey, look, I want to get connected to the customer service manager of HIV in New Zealand, and she will then get in touch with you and start providing you information. But if you're not an HIV student, maybe you guys still have time to consider working with us because we do provide a lot of support. And I think more importantly, you also need to look at the fact that you will be applying for a spouse visa. And if you're working with a company which does not have an licensed immigration advisor on the team, you might end up with trouble with that spouse visa. And in many instances, I've come across people where, well, one half of the couple leaves, reaches New Zealand, and the other half stays back in India because there were some issues with the spouse work visa. So I would say if you're AJV, thank you, and connect with your case manager or case officer and say, please connect me to the customer service manager in New Zealand. If you're not an AJV student, please consider working with us so that we can take it forward. All right, guys, time to wrap up. And I'm going to say a quick thank you to Yashu, Syed, Ketan, Sulabh, Vijay Lakshmi, Vardhan, Jeremy, Man, Sheikh, Rohit, Aditya Rampal, also for asking questions, which unfortunately I'm not able to answer in this session. But hey, guys, all you got to do is send us an email with those questions and queries. And if you're in India, call that number, which is our toll free number. If you're not in India, just send us an email with as many details as possible. And please, when you guys send an email, give us your contact number because I'm too old to keep typing half my life away. Half my life is gone anyway. I can't spend the rest of it typing replies back, guys. So put in your telephone number so that we can pick up the phone and talk to you and get done with it. All right. Any of you watching in New Zealand and wanting migration services like post-study work visas and spouse work visas and so on and so forth, that's the number to call. Our friendly and frank senior manager, Mary, that's the number, and you'll send her a text or give her a call. And we guys also work pretty late in the evening because we are working mostly to time zones outside New Zealand. So, yep, get in touch with us. Thank you as always. Please share my videos and all my live sessions, which will become a video and sit now on both YouTube and Facebook. And please share it with your family and friends. If you like the work we're doing, come and work with us. If you don't like the work we are doing, send us some feedback and we will try and improve our processes. But otherwise, thank you so much for all of you who come week after week and watch me talk about opportunities in New Zealand. As always, much appreciated to all my AJV students, especially big thank you. Much appreciated for giving us your business. Till the next time, this is Arun Jacob signing off from Hamilton, New Zealand. Kakite ano, which is see you later, and Pomarie, which is good night. See you later. Bye bye.